the play-by-play. Thank you.
All right.
Go ahead, John. Go ahead, John.
Yes, sir. So I got Villanova -5. It's moved to 5.5. The total set at 135. I think Villanova. I think Michigan's a lot like Ohio State. They play in the same kind of style. Hunter Dickinson's really the difference for Michigan, but I think Villanova can get it done and move on to the Elite Eight. So I'm laying 5 with Villanova here.
All right, little 5-point favorite there, Villanova. What about you, Tony? You want it?
Yeah, same thing for me. I actually agree with John here. Villanova. I just like good coach, Jay Wright, understands, spread the court, get ball handlers one-on-one, switch them, get the matchups you want. Michigan, that Dickinson might be a problem. We'll see. Not a great matchup for anybody Nova's got. If he presses it, a lot of times that guy will disappear in games. So he'll go long stretches where he hangs out around the elbow instead of down in the paint where he should be. And I like Nova. I think they get the job done. Good ride for Michigan. Made it further than I ever thought they were about a month ago. I would have never thought they were a Sweet 16 team. I think Nova has it going. They got the guard, Gillespie. He can do pretty much anything he wants. Even good guys guarding him, he seems to be able to get away from them, make the good pass, make the shot. Nova makes this number. I like Nova to cover.
All right, so and we got Ronnie Hahn agrees with the Villanova play. So we got some consensus rolling here, guys. A little Nova, a little Arkansas. So all right, anything with Houston and what do you got? Houston is getting 1.5. Playing Arizona, total 145. Johnny, what do you got?
Well, are we just sticking to spreads? Because I like the over in this game.
No, we're sticking to whatever you like.
Okay, yes, sir. I like 144.5. I think both teams move the ball up and down the court pretty good. As far as the spread, it's one of them coin toss games for me. My bracket has Arizona, but I have a parlay of Final Four parlay, and I did have Houston advancing in the Final Four. So my heart's leaning on my parlay, but my bracket's leaning on Arizona. It's really going to be a good game, and I'm really leaning towards the over. In fact, I played the over at 144.5. It's now moved up to 145. So that's my play in that game, the over in the Houston and the Arizona game.
All right. What about you, Red?
Yeah, I'm going to take Houston. I do have them in my bracket, which got destroyed because I like Kentucky, so I got massacred right away. But Houston is another team, and they actually have looked better. I think what they have going for them is a tight defense. If they can pack it, they make it hard. If the team requires points in the paint or close to the basket, you're going to struggle in a half-court set against Houston's defense. So Arizona's going to have to either really push the ball, which I'm not sure they'll be able to do anyway, try to take advantage of any fast break points they can possibly get. But I think Houston has a couple playmakers too, and that's important here. You can't just play defense. You've got to be able to score. And a couple players for them, I'm happy with what I'm seeing. If I'm looking for them to win, those guys are performing. So it's going to be a collective defensive effort from Houston against Arizona, I feel. I'm terrible with this guy's name, the guy for Arizona, really good player with a tough African name to say. But he's pretty good. He's going to be tough to handle. But overall, I just think Houston's going to get the job done. So for me, Houston's the play.
All right. So a little Houston, and you said over, right, John?
I like the over. And like I said, I want Houston. I may not play a side because I've already got them in my parlay, Final Four parlay, which all 4 of my teams are still alive. And one of them being Arkansas, which was a dream and a prayer. But if they can beat Gonzaga, my chances look really good. So, yep.
Well, go ahead.
I'm going over. That's it. Yep.
All right. We got a total of 145, the best number. That's mostly 145.5. All right. Junior Jam says it's Duke's weekend again. Hard not to want to play Duke. Kind of, all they got to do is win, but only getting 1.5. They're 1 point here. Total's 137. But who's agreeing in with Junior Jam here? Tony?
Yeah, I got Duke Duke winning this game, and Texas Tech's probably a better overall defensive squad, but I think Duke has got some horses for Coach K's last run. They're kind of not playing great together a few weeks ago. Now they are. I think the Banchero, the other Williams, I believe is the big kid's name. He's really thick body. He's going to take up, good post-up player in the paint. Duke's got a lot going for them. I think they get the job done, and they're underdog. That spread just seems weird. I know Texas Tech is great defensively, so I'm thinking they're going to try to grind Duke down, but I'm not sure if that's the right way to approach Duke. So for me, it's advantage Duke. And a game play to the 60s. I'll say mid to high 60s, 68, 66 Duke, somewhere in that range.
All right, so you got a customer there, Junior Jam. By the way, Bo and Terry, both on Houston as well, both agreeing with you. You got a couple customers with Houston as well. We are back, Daniel. Not sure how often, but probably when baseball kicks in. That's when I start getting my nose back into it. And hopefully we're going to have a lot of data here, guys. And I'd like to go over the data every day. So that's what I've been saying.
The data.
Data. Dave is developing a database, a 40-year database that we're going to play with every day on live video. And hopefully we'll do some winning here. So, all right. So we'll get back into that. So Ronnie Hahn is going with. Well, hold on, John. Let's talk to you about the Duke game. Your thoughts?
It's a coin toss game again. I showed Texas Tech laying 1. It could go either way. I'm gonna go with Texas Tech on this one. I think they do enough to squeak out a win over Duke and let Coach K enjoy his retirement. So I'll take Texas Tech in this one, whether it's lay 1 or get 1. So I like Texas Tech here.
All right. Little Texas Tech there, but kind of a toss-up for John. So
yeah,
a lot of Duke love, little Texas Tech. Ronnie Hahn says Houston is dangerous. We're gonna find out, Ron. All right, so all right, here we go. Let's hit another game then, right?
That was all for Thursday.
Pete's.
We're on to Friday now.
Yeah, St. Pete's down to 12.5. Your 13.5 doesn't seem to be found anymore. Playing Purdue, and who's got something there? Anybody?
I'll start off, I guess. I took Purdue was 12.5 is what I like, the number. I like St. Pete's effort. I just don't see them hanging in with this physical game they're going to get from Purdue. They could try to shoot their way out of it. I just don't see it again. Third time that a 15 seed has advanced to the Sweet 16. They didn't do very good either other time, so they're 0-2 straight up and against the spread. And I kind of see that happening in St. Peter's. A good story, good Cinderella, made it to this point, but the roster just does not suggest to me they're going to hang with Purdue. And I'm a big Purdue critic. I'm not high on Purdue. I just think the disparity of size over 40 minutes is going to get Purdue what they need. And they got actually a couple good scoring players. That Ivy is the one kid that comes to mind for Purdue. I don't see anybody on St. Peter's being able to guard that kid. So good luck for St. Peter's, but I like Purdue.
All right.
John. Yeah. I'm going to take St. Peter's. Cinderella will be going home. Purdue will win the game, but I think St. Peter's will give it their best shot. They're still riding high off that Kentucky win. I had them on the money line against Murray State. Cinderella will be going home. They're not going to get the win here, but I think they'll be able to get enough. I'll start with the 12.5. I'll probably wait closer to live betting and see if Purdue jumps out to an early lead and see if I can grab 15 or 16 on the live bet. But my play will be 12.5 for the show here. I'll keep riding Cinderella. Unfortunately, she will be going home. She won't be able to beat Purdue. So right. I'll stick with that. It's just a lot of – I like taking points. I'd rather take them than give them. That's always my motto. I'd rather –
Well, in the grand scheme of things, the pros are the ones, they're heavier on the dogs. End of story. The favorites, generally speaking, are always going to be overpriced.
Yep. The public loves favors and they love overs, and I like to play unders and dogs, and that's just the way I do things. I live and die by my unders and dogs.
Yeah, well, when it comes to baseball, I'm certainly not afraid to be rolling on the unders, but
now we can. They went back to not having little league rules with guys on second. It killed my unders all last year. They got.
Yeah, that did change things.
It was terrible last year. It was miserable.
All right, so what else we got left here? We got North Carolina, UCLA. So who's got something to jump out on that one?
Yeah, go ahead, John.
I'll take a stab. There again, I have UCLA in my Final Four bracket. Not my bracket, in my parlay. And I want them to win. I just think Carolina is playing really good right now. I'll take a chance with Carolina on the money line. This is a 2-point spread. They're either going to win or they're going to lose by more than 2 is how I see it. So I'll take a chance with North Carolina on the money line in this game. UCLA just kind of, I don't know. They got a good core, and they made it to the Final Four last year. It just, I don't think they can keep pace with North Carolina. So I'll take the Tar Heels on the money line here. What you got, Tony?
Got as high as plus $1.22. Nice price, actually, for a 2-point dog.
Yeah, at this point, I'm going to back Carolina in this game. They burned me. I thought Baylor was going to be able to grind them out, and they just went nuts, man, from shooting the ball. I'm a Tar Heel graduate. I know pretty much if anything's been known about the Tar Heel basketball program, I probably know it, and so I can get a good feel for them. That was an unexpected effort, and they damn near blew a 25-point lead, giving me a heart attack, goes to overtime at 80. And then a kid that literally has played 40 minutes the entire year hits a 3-point shot to start the overtime. And from there, Carolina, they're able to grind it out. So I think that's better than what UCLA has. And Carolina has the big size, which I say for the last 20 years, they've probably been in the top 10 of rebounding every single year, with half of those years like the best rebounding team in the country. North Carolina always out rebounds their opponents on average, and most of the time it's not even close. So sometimes a bad shot is a good shot for North Carolina because the big guys can rebound it and put it back in the basket. Baycott, the best he's ever played. His first couple of years, he was a disappointment to me. He just didn't make smart plays. But now I think he's starting to finally click. And any kind of outside shooting, if North Carolina is hitting outside shots, they're so athletic and can run the court so good. Hubert runs that Dean Smith style. They're going to push it. If they can push it, they're going to push it. And these guys know what to do. And if they're hitting outside shots, I don't know if you can beat them. They might be national champs of this team if they keep shooting like they did last game. So for me, I'm going to give the Tar Heels the edge, but it might be with the heart more than anything else, coming off the big upset win over Baylor.
And Junior Jam's got something to say about that.
Junior.
Said it ain't happened. 100% UCLA.
It's being played on the East Coast. Not sure of the time.
And I do have a serious. Anybody that knows me knows I have an East Coast bias in this tournament.
Oh,
it's based on reality. You know, the West Coast hasn't won a national championship that I can think of since the Tyus Edney coast-to-coast layup to beat Missouri in the first round. I believe that was 1993.
There we go. Let's not go over that whole game again.
We're rolling into
usually this is where Tony comes in and gives you the whole play-by-play from the game in 1993.
That's the last time a team out here on the West Coast won a national title. Was that team in the opening round game? The reason I know that team, Tyus Edney, in the opening round game against Missouri, went coast to coast, laid it in at the buzzer for a 1-point win, and then UCLA went on from that first round win to the national title. All
right. There we go. All right. I got to cut you off because I know where we're going. Let's get to the next game. All right, Providence, Kansas. And anybody got anything there? Kansas laying a touchdown or so.
I like Providence.
Any money line there?
Solid coach.
60.
Yeah, I got 7.5 is what I'm seeing. I like Providence and the points. I think if Kansas wins, this game is going to be grinding, probably probably get to the low 70s, probably. But it's going to be close. And I think Providence can win this game. I think this is a good matchup for Providence. Physically, I think this is the kind of style that they want to play. Ed Cooley's a good enough coach. It's a good matchup with Bill Self, Ed Cooley. And Providence plays defense as a team, which is important. You just can't play defense on your own little island. You have to do it as a team, and that's something Providence has shown the ability to do, and that's from coaching. They probably practice that shit, so they'll be ready. Ed Cooley will have them ready. So give me the 7.5, and I do like Providence in this game.
You like the points, John?
I agree. Yeah, I think Kansas moves on, but I think Providence does enough just to keep it close enough to cover those 7.5. I would also lean on the under. I think the under 141.5 will be kind of tight. I think defense will prevail in this game.
What is the total?
141.5.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking that's about where it's coming in. Somewhere I was thinking like low 70, kind of a 70. I mean, right on that number, man. So yeah, I don't feel a total either way there, honestly.
Yeah, I think a lot of unders will come in this week. Actually, the defense will be tight.
And sometimes it's the arena, man. Do the kids adjust? Here we go. No, we're moving venues. They play 2 games in one location. Now here we go to another neutral court. First game on a neutral court, and we'll see. Sometimes the field goal shooting does suffer, because they're not familiar. It's a fact. It does account for some bad shooting games. Especially the bigger arenas seem to be harder to shoot in first time. But the teams that win tonight, or win these Thursday, Friday games, should have a better showing shooting on that same court again Saturday and Sunday. But that's something always to think about with the totals is, will the teams be able to shoot well first time playing on that court?
Well, and both teams also have had 4 or 5 days to prepare where – this past week when you played Thursday, you turned around and played Saturday and didn't really get to evaluate your opponent very much. So I think Providence will be able to keep them locked down and both teams. So my stronger play would be on the under, and then I do like Providence with the points as well.
Yeah, the Providence, their scoring is so bad. I mean, I'm looking at 5 dudes average double digits, but nobody over like 13.5. So you got 5 dudes that score between 10 and 15 points a game. That tells me it's tough to lock it in on one guy because everybody's scoring about the same. So, and I think that'll play good against Kansas. I think spreading Kansas out is how you attack them. And when you got dudes that can all score, that helps. So I like Providence in this one.
Well, and I wouldn't be surprised if it goes to 8 or 9. You'll have all these guys coming into Vegas this week and coming over here.
It just seems so hard to believe that line would go up much, but yeah.
It will. They'll all come over here this weekend from Cali wanting to bet.
Jayhawk.
March Madness, and all they're going to do is look at the board and see the big name and lay the points, and it's going to push that number up 8.5 by Thursday. These lines will move. Gonzaga will be up to 10 by Thursday too. The Kansas game will be up to 8 or 9 by Friday. I guarantee that.
Junior and Ronnie going with Kansas.
All right. Get it now then, I would suggest, because these numbers will go up. There's no doubt in my mind. UCLA will probably go up higher, closer to 3. And the last game, Miami has went down from 2.5 to 2 on mine.
It's still, it's still floating. There's still plenty of 2.5s out there still. But there's still plenty of 2s, so. What do you thought? I mean, I guess this is your game here, Tony.
Yeah, I love this game. Miami, I'm going to back them with the biggest rating I give any game. So this will be my best play of this entire round easily. Just a couple things that match up well for me. It's the one-on-one. Looking at the 3 guys, McGusty, Wong, Moore being the primary ball handler. But all those guys are good ball handlers. Iowa State just relying on grits and guts and no offense. It's not gonna work in this spot. Larinaga is a great coach. I think he's going to slice and dice this team. Larinaga is a guy that went to the Final Four with George Mason. So, with no talent, with beating 3 number 1 seeds to get there, along the way. So that tournament, Jim Larinaga with George Mason beat 3 number 1 seeds in the tournament. Now he's got a clear advantage here, I believe. 10 is one of those. The ACC didn't get much respect. Miami could have been a little bit better seed, and whereas Iowa State was probably more fortunate to me to get in. So I just think the talent disparity, the coaching disparity, and you got 3 hot players from Miami that are really going to be tough for Iowa State to stop. They might stop one of them, and they might stop 2, but they're not going to stop all 3 of these guys that are really putting the ball in the basket. So I think this is an easy call, low spread. This game will not be in the 50s. I mean, Iowa State might be in the 50s, but I'm seeing Miami more like 70 to 55, 70, 56. I'm looking for just a real convincing hammer job from Miami. With Larinaga, like I say, underrated coach, I think, but he's a damn good coach, and he's done it in different parts of the country. He's got a good job at the ACC. Miami, they get pretty good athletes, maybe not the best players and 5-star recruits, but these guys are good athletes. Take to his coaching, and I think you got an easy winner with Miami here. I think they're being overlooked. From what's left in this, there have been a lot of upsets, and so that opens up brackets for a team like Larinaga's probably licking his chops at this and thinking, God damn, I got a chance to go to another Final Four with another team. So look out for Miami this weekend.
All right, John.
Yeah, I agree. Miami's playing really good. Iowa State's one of them teams I didn't even think belonged in the tournament. They went 7-11 in the Big 12. So I kind of see them as a Cinderella myself. And they've been playing good in their own right, but they haven't played the competition that Miami's played in this tournament either. So I definitely agree with Tony. I'm willing to lay 2.5 points with the Hurricanes in this game. And Tony don't do totals, but I also lean on the under as well in this game.
What is 70? Let's say 70 to 55 is maybe. So what's that? 125? I'm guessing that's on.
133 is the number.
133 is the number. So yeah, I see Iowa State in the high 50s at best.
Yeah, they just haven't been scoring. They've been winning these games on grit and guts. Without the ball going in the basket. I mean, they're barely getting to 50 points, and I don't see it being much easier for them against Miami. I think Miami's a good matchup for this team. That's part of the formula. Individually, you look at this matchup and say, who the hell's going to somebody of course can get hot, but I don't think they'll be hot for more than a half of a half. So yeah, 50s I think is good. If you can bet on that, maybe the Iowa State point total somewhere in the 50s. Do we know what we get a total on that?
They'll put a team total out, and you can bet under. Their team total will be, I can tell you right off the top of my head, it'll be around 64. It'll be
Iowa State
67 or 68, 64.
6.
No, 69 to 65. Or 69, no. 68, 60.
What's
68, 65. That's about right.
68, 68, 65, something like that.
So, yeah, I would lean under Iowa State 65 points as well. And I would take Miami.
I just don't see that happening, dude. I really don't.
I would definitely take Miami now because I think that line's going to jump higher to 3 or 4 as well.
Now you guys are making me think about putting the under with a little parlay ticket over here. All right, under. I'll take a look at that. Yeah, I just don't. And we're also under on Iowa State, right? Their actual point total. I don't really bet that at all, but if it's, what are we thinking? It might be 65.
It'll be about 65. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. I don't think they don't get to 65. They would have to be winning by double digits, and Miami just starts fouling them with 4 or 5 minutes left. 40 points from the free throw line, maybe, but they're not going to make enough buckets to get to 65.
They're averaging 52 points a game their last 3 games.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're not really scoring.
back on March 2nd when they played Oklahoma State. They lost 36-53. So they are not an offensive team.
No.
If you get under 65, I would look at it pretty hard on that.
I concur with that. And I don't even really make those kind of bets, and I don't handicap specifically for those kind of bets. But yeah, I kind of can gear up a total what I think a team might score, and certainly Iowa State, anything around 65, take the under proposition bet. Team total, I believe, is what I see. Team total prop, go under.
Yeah, I'm looking to see if they have that right now, their team total.
But for sure, I love Miami in this game, and I'm not.
Yes, it is
I'm
65.
not,
It's 65 and a half. 65 and a half on my book. I'm gonna
Yikes.
plug it in right now.
I'm not a hype guy. I don't talk a lot of crazy shit. I just think that's the best game out of all 8 games in the Sweet 16 is Miami. Just a talent mismatch, coaching mismatch, offensive potential mismatch. I'm not saying Iowa State isn't going to try to cover them, but I just don't think they're going to be able to shut all 3 of those guys down. So Miami. I guess that's all of them.
Miami's projected to score 67.5. Iowa State 65.5. So,
and I think that Miami total's probably about in the range. That's about right. Something in there. I mean, I said 70, but
I see 65-57. I'll throw out. That's what I said.
Yeah, but not 60. Yeah, 65 for Iowa State. Let me pack my bowl on. Lou's muted his mic. We can't hear.
Yeah, well, I muted. I was on the phone. You guys.
Oh, okay.
All right, so we're done here.
That's all 8 games, man. That's all of them.
The games. Don't forget, we got the contest. It's a free roll. BettorCenter.com. The link is over in the chat. Free money, giving it away. All you got to do is beat the worst handicapper in BettorCenter, which Saturday was pretty easy. No, Sunday was pretty easy. Round 2 was pretty easy. Round 1 was definitely challenging for anybody. So congratulations to the 2 winners for Saturday, the 9 winners for round 2, and let's give away some more money this week, guys.
Oh, you should expand it possibly. Do a couple of these like first halves or totals or something, because with 8 games. In fact, I'll give you.
Let's do a tiebreaker. Pick one of the 8 games and say
We put the tiebreaker in there. That's
it. I'll make a suggestion. Why don't you make it 16 games and do first half and totals? Do the spreads in the first half of every game. So then
less of doing spreads and totals
or something. I would expand it.
Now, you know what? These guys are on manual for updating everything.
I would expand it more.
Make it a little more automated. So
I would expand it to more.
It's already been a little clusterfuck as it is. So I'm just kind of keep it simple for them right now. And just let somebody pick a score closest to the score. Unless they tell me it's not that hard to grade twice as many games.
Yeah, what's probably the hardest part is setting up the fields to accept the input or whatever. That's probably the little coding to do that shit's probably the biggest hassle.
He was doing some stuff like that, so, but how far along and all that, I don't know. So,
if you're expecting more people this time, I would definitely expand it to more than pick 8 games and 1 tiebreaker.
I'd say the challenge is somebody to go 8-0, cause somebody bring it. There's $200 on the table. Come in, win 8 games. Sweet 16, 8 games. Win 8 games. Pick up your $200 and walk away, knowing that you swept the board. Well, we should be able. Somebody should be able to, right?
But we're putting. You got to put this. It's the score of the Miami game, the last game. So you put the final score, and the closest to the score wins.
Yeah, that's a good tiebreaker. That's a good one.
It sucks, but it is what it is. But it is a good tiebreaker because you're picking the fucking score.
My big pool that I do every year, the national title point total is the tiebreaker, and they've split it because 2 people have been so close before. I think they split it one year. They've been doing it 30 years. This one contest, So they've had all kinds of weird things, but that's
Oh,
typically the way to just make it simple, make it really simple.
It's our first one, so
I know
planning to go
the
out
first
throughout the baseball
annual
season.
BettorCenter March Madness contest. Beat the in-house experts for your chance to win $200 each round of the tournament. It's time to sign up. Sweet 16.
All right, we've muted him, John.
Thank God. Thank you.
All right, guys. We'll figure out when we're coming back. I don't know when we're coming back, but we'll be back at least by baseball, but maybe we'll be back after round 3. And
Do a Final Four preview show.
All right, guys. I'm out of here. I got shit to do.
Me too, guys. Later.